Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to our gathering. Today, we'll look at a topic that has the potential to transform your life in unexpected ways. Have you ever wondered why Jesus' parables have inspired so many people throughout history? These are more than just stories from the past. They are timeless teachings packed with wisdom, reality, and practical advice for our daily lives. These timeless teachings provide wisdom that deeply resonates with your soul, whether you are looking for meaning, peace, or a deeper understanding of life. Consider this. You're sitting by the calm sea, captivated by Jesus' words as he tells seemingly simple stories. A farmer scattering seeds, a sheep that has gone astray, a treasure hidden in the earth. But these stories contain profound revelations about faith, connections, and your relationship with the divine. These stories were written to spark thought, encourage reflection, and ultimately change your way of life. These stories encourage us to view the world with a fresh perspective, instill compassion in our hearts, and navigate our journeys with a sense of purpose. As a result, if you've ever felt lost or perplexed about your next steps, keep listening carefully. By the end of this video, you'll understand how these timeless stories relate to your modern life and how powerful they are in changing your life forever. Gather around, my friends, as the journey begins. Consider the essence of a parable, a story woven with wisdom and insight that is frequently delivered in a simple yet profound manner. It acts as a mirror for our lives, reflecting truths that are deeply ingrained within us. A parable serves more than just as a storytelling device. The master uses it as a powerful teaching tool to reveal profound spiritual insights in an understandable manner. But here's the intriguing part. Parables are more than just simple teaching tools. They are like hidden gems nestled within the fabric of daily life. The stories of farmers, merchants, shepherds, and neighbors. These stories may appear simple at first glance, but they contain profound meaning that invites us to reflect, contemplate, and, ultimately, change our lives for the better. Why did Jesus teach through parables? Consider this. If someone approached you and offered to share profound spiritual insights, would you stay and listen? It seems unlikely. But what if they told a story about a lost sheep or a small mustard seed that sprouts into a large tree? Don't you find it fascinating? That is exactly why Jesus chose to convey his teachings through parables. He recognized that people have an innate desire for stories. Narratives captivate our minds, spark our imaginations, and stay with us long after they are told. However, there is another reason why Jesus taught through parables that is both amazing and thought-provoking. Parables encourage us to investigate further. We don't get answers effortlessly. Rather, they encourage us to pause, reflect, and consider the significance. Indeed, Jesus said, "Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear." This suggests that the deeper meaning of a parable is not always obvious. It is waiting for those who have the desire to seek it out. For those who welcome with open hearts, the stories reveal profound truths about the divine. These timeless stories, however, remain shrouded in mystery for those who continue to oppose or ignore them. Let me share a story with you. Consider the parable of the sower. Essentially, this tale revolves around a farmer who diligently plants seeds in various types of soil. However, upon further reflection, it reveals an important lesson about how we respond to the divine message. The unyielding earth symbolizes a heart turned away from the light of truth. The shallow soil represents a person who receives the message with joy, but quickly withdraws when faced with difficulties. The thorny ground represents distractions and worldly concerns that stifle spiritual development. Finally, good soil symbolizes an open heart to the message, leading to a bountiful harvest. This story depicts not only 4 types of soil, but also 4 different kinds of people. Which one do you consider yourself to be? Now, let me talk about parables. They have a timeless quality. Despite the fact that these stories were told over 2 millennia ago, their messages remain highly relevant today. Please consider this. Throughout our lives, we seek wisdom, guidance, and words of encouragement to help us navigate our paths. Stories convey wisdom in a way that resonates with the heart. The story of the prodigal son depicts the father's boundless love for all, including the wayward. Then there's the persistent widow, whose unwavering spirit exemplifies the strength found in consistent prayer. Each parable conveys a distinct message, encouraging us to reflect and learn. Let us remember the intricate tapestry of cultural context. In his teachings, Jesus frequently used everyday scenes, such as farming, fishing, trading, and family interactions, to help listeners understand the profound truths he shared. But here's the genius of it all. While the scenes were specific to his time, the truths woven into the stories remain timeless. These vivid illustrations, which include a lost coin, a mustard seed, and a wedding banquet, have stood the test of time and transcended borders. These illustrations have captivated people's hearts throughout history, regardless of whether they lived in the 1st or 21st centuries. What meaning does this have for you right now? Parables are more than just stories from the past. They reflect your own life experiences. They invite you to reflect on your priorities, relationships with others, and the depth of your beliefs. Do you embody a compassionate spirit, ready to help those in need? Or are you hiding your talents because you are afraid of stumbling? Every parable invites you to immerse yourself in the story, to imagine yourself among the characters, and to ponder profound questions like, what kind of soil nurtures my heart? Am I utilizing my talents in a way that recognizes their full potential? Am I following the path of compassion and purpose? In essence, parables are more than stories. They invite us to a deeper understanding. They inspire us to embark on a journey of personal development, transformation, and alignment with our divine purpose. They invite us to recognize that God's kingdom is not distant or merely a concept. It is present, intricately woven into the fabric of our daily lives. We only need to open our eyes and hearts to see it. As we embark on this journey through these profound teachings, I invite you to embrace them with an open heart and sense of wonder. Allow Jesus' stories to resonate with you, providing deeply personal, profoundly practical, and transformative insights. Indeed, these stories have the power to change your life forever, if you let them. Join us on a journey through one of the most profound stories ever told, the parable of the sower. This story may appear simple at first glance, but its message is profound and has the potential to change people's lives. Consider a humble farmer walking into the fields, eager to plant his seeds. As he scatters the seeds, some find their way along the path, while others settle on rocky terrain, become entangled in thorns, and finally rest on fertile soil. Each type of soil represents a unique response to the Almighty's message. Let us dissect this story, because understanding its significance could significantly alter your life path and spiritual journey. First, let us collect and reflect on the seeds that appear along the way. These are the souls who hear the word, but do not let it enter their hearts. What's the reason behind this? Their hearts have hardened, like soil that has been pressed down and rendered unyielding. Perhaps they are distracted or preoccupied with the cares of the world. They hear the words, but they do not take root in their hearts. Have you ever visited that place? You hear a powerful message or read words that uplift your spirit, but they quickly fade and are lost to memory. This is what happens when your spiritual foundation is unprepared. The adversary approaches quickly, eager to seize the seed before it can grow. It serves as a gentle reminder to each of us to cultivate tenderness within our hearts, to intentionally create space for divine truth to flourish. Next, consider the seeds that fall to the rocky ground. These are people who, at first, enthusiastically embrace the message. They are overjoyed, fervent, and eager to begin their journey. However, their roots lack the required depth. When confronted with adversity, they struggle. Trials occur throughout life, and their faith may falter at times. How often have you embarked on a new adventure with full enthusiasm, only to falter when faced with challenges? This section of the story invites us to embark on a profound spiritual journey. True faith is a strong foundation that can withstand life's challenges. Let us now investigate the seeds that have become entangled in the thorns. Some listen to the word and follow its teachings, but their worldly cares, riches, and desires consume them. They become so engrossed in the world's distractions that they lose sight of what really matters. Have you heard this before? In a world full of distractions, whether it's the allure of social media, the desire for material possessions, or the weight of numerous responsibilities, we frequently stray from our true path. These thorns can easily sap the vitality from our spiritual journey. However, Jesus' call invites us to prioritize His word in our lives above all else. He encourages us to set aside our distractions and focus on what is truly important. Finally, we arrive at the seeds that thrive in fertile soil. Behold, these are the souls who hear the word, understand its meaning, and faithfully apply it in their lives. In their travels, they reap a bountiful harvest, 30-fold, 60-fold, or even 100-fold. How is their soil different from others? It isn't about being perfect. It's about being ready. Sacred acts of prayer, deep reflection, and steadfast obedience cultivate fertile and productive ground. These devoted souls freely devote their time and energy to cultivating a deep and meaningful relationship with the divine. And voila, join the team and become part of it. Regardless of your current circumstances, whether your heart is barren soil or a weed-infested garden, remember that change is always possible. Begin with the small things. Maintain your unwavering principles. Seek the Lord's guidance to soften your heart and remove any impediments to your growth. This story is about profound transformation and renewal, not just agriculture. It invites you to reflect on your own journey and consider what type of soil you represent. Am I nurturing the seeds of divine truth in my soul? Am I letting distractions, fears, or fleeting commitments derail my progress? Take heed, because the same seed was sown on various types of ground. The difference is in how each type of soil responds. How will you respond to this inquiry? Consider this. If you were in control of your spirit, how would your actions today differ? Could you please remove the thorns of anxiety and selfish desires? Would you be willing to overcome your doubts and fears? Will you nourish your spirit through prayer and the sacred words of Scripture? You are responsible for making the decision. The beauty of this narrative is that you can always begin anew. Every day is a new opportunity to prepare your spirit to embrace the teachings and watch them grow. As we reflect on the parable of the sower, Let us resolve to be fertile ground. Let us welcome the sacred teachings into our hearts, grow in grace, and reap a bountiful harvest in our lives. Indeed, when we take action, we not only benefit ourselves, but also those around us. Consider the profound impact we could have if we all opened our hearts and nurtured the divine intentions set before us. Consider the power of this parable. It goes beyond simple storytelling and invites us to act with purpose. Let us journey through one of the most profound stories ever told, the Good Samaritan. This story unfolds not only as an act of helping someone in need, but also as a profound lesson in compassion, breaking down barriers, and reimagining the true meaning of neighborly love. Consider this scenario. A traveler travels down a perilous road known for its lurking dangers and the presence of wicked souls. Abruptly, an assailant assaults him, purloins his possessions, and abandons him at the roadside. He is bleeding, defenseless, and completely alone. Imagine a vivid scene unfolding before your eyes. The first to approach is a priest who represents respect and spiritual authority. Wouldn't you expect him to stop his actions? Indeed, his purpose is to nurture others and show divine love through his actions. However, he passes by on the opposite side of the road, paying no attention to the man at all. Next, a Levite approaches, a well-known community member. He will undoubtedly offer assistance. However, he repeats the same action. He casts a fleeting glance at the wounded man before moving on, choosing not to engage. An unexpected event happens, and lo, a Samaritan travels forth. To comprehend the significance of this event, it is necessary to acknowledge that the Jewish community held a strong dislike for the Samaritans. They were seen as outliers, even adversaries. Nonetheless, the Samaritan does not hesitate. As he looks at the man lying in despair and neglect, his heart remains calm. He chooses to approach with compassion. Instead, he pauses, lowers himself to the ground, and carefully inspects his wounds. He cleanses and soothes the wounds with oil and wine, both of which are gentle remedies. So he gently hoisted the man onto his own donkey and led him to a small inn, where he looked after him all night. The next day, he offers the innkeeper money to ensure the man's care continues, promising to cover any additional costs when he returns. Pause and consider this for a moment. The Samaritan extended his hand, offering more than a temporary solution. He exceeded expectations by devoting his time, resources, and energy to helping someone society had deemed unworthy. And here's the twist. It wasn't even one of his own family members. It was a stranger, one who might have looked at him with contempt if their roles had been reversed. And behold, the Samaritan, moved by a spirit of mercy, acted without hesitation, demonstrating that genuine compassion knows no bounds. In response to a question, Jesus told this parable: "Who is my neighbor?" Back then, many people believed that their neighbors were simply those who shared their beliefs, backgrounds, or social status. However, Jesus completely changed that notion. This story teaches us that our neighbors go beyond closeness or likeness to include anyone in need, regardless of identity or origin. Consider how this wisdom relates to our lives today. In a world full of division, prejudice, and indifference, the story of the Good Samaritan invites us to look beyond our usual boundaries. It encourages us to acknowledge our fellow beings' shared humanity, even if it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Perhaps the person living next to you is a colleague who is quietly dealing with exhaustion. Perhaps it's a soul in need you encounter on your daily walk down the street. Perhaps it's an individual in the vast digital realm a soul dealing with difficulties or harsh words who could benefit from a simple act of kindness. Compassion emerges in quiet moments. It is found in the simple act of being present, reaching out a hand, and expressing love in everyday ways. However, we must recognize that being compassionate is not always easy. It takes a humble spirit, a brave heart, and, at times, the willingness to make sacrifices. It symbolizes putting aside our preconceived notions, anxieties, and judgments. It represents the decision to act, even when our hearts are not moved to do so. Indeed, we may face a cost in terms of time, resources, or self-esteem. But don't forget that the Samaritan acted compassionately, extending his hand in aid without regard for the risks. He acted because it was the correct thing to do. And this is what makes his actions so inspiring. Here's a profound truth. Each of us has the opportunity to embody the spirit of compassion and kindness in the lives of others, just as the Good Samaritan did. Every day, we encounter souls who are suffering, lost, or forgotten. Will we pass by like the priest and Levite, preoccupied with our own concerns or unwilling to assist? Will we pause, like the Samaritan, to effect change? The decision is in our hands. As you think about this story, consider this question: who is my neighbor? What are some ways that I can demonstrate kindness and understanding in my daily interactions? Perhaps it's assisting at a nearby shelter, saying a comforting word to a friend in need, or simply listening with an open heart. Take the first step, no matter how small, and do it now. When we choose to love and serve others, we embark on a journey that not only transforms their lives, but also our own. We are embracing our divine purpose, for which we were wonderfully created. As a result, there is an important legacy to pursue. Let us now take a journey through one of the most profound parables, the parable of the talents. This story goes beyond mere wealth and possessions. It emphasizes our profound responsibility to care for everything the Almighty has entrusted to us. It invites us to rise, to live intentionally, and to participate in the Creator's abundant plans for each of us. Please allow me to walk you through this incredible story. Once, a master prepared for a journey. He gathered his servants and entrusted them with his riches, distributing them based on their skills. He gives 5 talents to one of his servants. He distributes 2 to another individual. He also hands 1 to the third person. In ancient times, a talent was highly valued, far exceeding what the average person could ever hope to earn in their lifetime. This was more than just a matter of small coins. It entailed a significant obligation. So the master left, entrusting his servants with the care of the resources and allowing them to exercise their freedom as they saw fit. When the master returns, he questions each servant, seeking to understand their actions and diligence. A servant was once trusted with 5 talents. He approached his master and declared, "Master, you entrusted me with 5 talents, which I have doubled." The master was overjoyed and replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. A great reward awaits you for your perseverance with the little you have been given, because you will be entrusted with much more. Enter in the joy of your master." The second servant, who had been given 2 talents, increased his share as well. He receives the same commendation. "Well done, good and faithful servant." Suddenly, the third servant appears, carrying only 1 talent. Rather than using it or letting it grow, he buried it. The servant spoke in trembling tones as the master approached. "I was filled with fear, so I buried your talent. Here, take what belongs to you." The master's response is profound. He refers to the servant as wicked and lazy, takes his talent and bestows it on the person who had 10. The message is clear. Steadfastness is crucial. Stewardship is extremely important. Fear is not welcome in the divine realm. What message does this convey to us today? First, let us come together to reflect on our talents, not only our financial wealth, but also the rich tapestry of gifts, skills, time, and opportunities bestowed upon us. The Creator gave each of us a unique gift. Perhaps you are gifted with eloquence, the skill of artistry, the heart of a compassionate listener, or the diligence of a dedicated entrepreneur. Perhaps you have the wonderful ability to inspire others, guide them with wisdom, or greet them with warmth. Whatever it is, the Creator has instilled in you a unique purpose that the world longs for. Dear friend, I want to ask you a question. Are you embracing it in your life? The first two servants recognized this truth. They acted without hesitation, confident and purposeful about the journey ahead of them. They pooled their resources, worked tirelessly, and saw their efforts pay off. They set out with hearts full of faith, confident that their efforts would bring glory to their master. As a result, they were blessed not only financially, but also with increased responsibility and a deep sense of joy. But what about the third servant? His fear gripped him tightly and rendered him motionless. Rather than confronting the journey with courage, he chose the safety of caution. He concealed his gift, convinced that he was protecting it. But the truth is that hiding your gift does not protect it. Rather, it wastes it. The Lord encourages us to bravely venture into the unfamiliar. He invites us to take risks, embrace the unknown, and put our trust in Him, even when we are unsure. Fear whispers for us to retreat, but faith encourages us to move forward boldly. Consider the journey of your own life for a moment. What gifts has the Lord bestowed upon you? Are you utilizing their full potential? Or are you allowing fear, doubt, or procrastination to keep you from fulfilling your divine purpose? Perhaps you're shaking at the thought of falling short. Perhaps you are waiting for the perfect moment. Consider this truth. The perfect moment is a fleeting illusion. Behold, the present moment is all you really have, and now is the time to take action. Allow me to express a thought. The divine does not seek perfection. He seeks steadfastness. He does not expect you to be the wisest, mightiest, or most gifted soul among those present. He invites you to accept the gifts bestowed upon you and use them to advance His magnificent plan. Every step you take, whether it's starting a new project, assisting those in need, or shining a light in your community, is significant. Today, I invite you to reflect on the gifts you've received. Consider, how will I put them to beneficial use? What is the most effective way to increase their numbers? How can I use these to make a significant impact on the world? Take heed, because the Master will return, and He wants to see the fruits of your labor and the gifts bestowed upon you. Will He find you strong in your faith? Will He tell you, "Well done, good and faithful servant"? You are responsible for making the decision. Now let us embark on a journey to discover how we can weave these timeless lessons into the fabric of our daily lives. These stories serve more than just to inspire. They impart wisdom that can transform our thoughts, actions, and way of life. Consider this. The profound insights embedded in these timeless stories can illuminate every decision you make, every relationship you form, and every challenge you face. Allow me to guide you on this journey. Begin by reflecting on your interactions with others. In the company of family, friends, co-workers, or even strangers, the story of the Good Samaritan inspires us to put our own concerns aside and embrace the spirit of compassion. Consider this. How frequently do we pass by people in need, choosing convenience or comfort over compassion? Perhaps a coworker is dealing with unspoken concerns, or a neighbor would benefit from a kind gesture. Behold the truth that unfolds before us. Love and kindness are meant to cross all boundaries. There is no need to wait for a major event to trigger change. Begin with the small things. Consider lending a sympathetic ear, sharing a meal, or offering a warm smile to someone who is having a difficult day. These small acts of kindness can have far-reaching consequences, transforming people's lives, including your own. Now, let us look at your personal development journey and the divine purpose that motivates you. The tale of the talents serves as a reminder that each of us has been endowed with unique gifts and abilities. But here's the takeaway. Those gifts aren't just for us. They're meant to be used, shared, and expanded for the benefit of all. Are you fully utilizing your skills? Perhaps you are exceptional at writing, teaching, organizing, or creating. Whatever it is, consider this. Am I developing my talents? Are I venturing beyond my comfort zone to achieve personal growth? Is it because of fear or procrastination that I keep my gifts hidden? Take heed, for the Almighty has given you these precious gifts with purpose and intent. When you use them wisely, you honor God while also enriching your surroundings. Could you tell me about your journey or vocation? While many people see their jobs as a way to make a living, the parable of the talents encourages us to look at our work from a different perspective. Your job is more than just a source of income. It is an opportunity to inspire, innovate, and make a significant impact. Let your heart be set on excellence, and your actions be rooted in integrity in everything you do, whether you're leading a group, caring for others, or working quietly. What's the reason behind this? When you work for the divine, you will discover purpose and fulfillment. The simplest of tasks allows us to embody the essence of the divine through our dedication and focus. Additionally, you should consider your spiritual journey. The story of the sower teaches us the importance of cultivating a heart that is open to receiving the Lord's word. How do you develop your beliefs? Do you spend time reading the scriptures, praying, and reflecting on God's profound truths? Do you let distractions, doubts, or life's pressures undermine your faith? Faith does not appear overnight. It requires careful attention and purpose. Just as a farmer nurtures his fields, you must cultivate the richness of your spiritual ground. Gather with your brethren, seek wisdom from those who guide you, and believe in the Almighty's promises. When you do, you will reap long-term benefits. Finally, think about how these timeless stories can lift your spirits during difficult times. Life presents us with many challenges, loss, failure, and disappointment. But the teachings woven throughout Jesus' stories encourage us to persevere with steadfast hearts. The seed that found its way into shallow soil sprouted quickly, but it was soon overcome by the challenges that lay ahead. Do not let your path be one of foolishness. When adversity strikes, rely on your faith and trust that the divine is orchestrating everything for your good. This holds true even during times of victory. If you have received many blessings, give generously. Share your blessings widely. Share it to spread happiness and encouragement to those around you. Behold, this is the essence of true stewardship. And now, dear listener, consider this profound question. How will you apply these lessons in your life today? Will you let them float on your mind or nurture them until they govern your actions? The wondrous nature of Jesus' stories is that they speak to you in your current situation. They connect with farmers, business owners, parents, students, leaders, and dreamers. Regardless of your identity or current journey, these stories invite you to live a life of greater meaning, kindness, and belief. Pause for a moment and reflect deeply. How can the lessons from these timeless stories be applied to your own journey? Perhaps it involves helping those in need, honing your skills, or strengthening your relationship with the divine. Take the first step toward completing whatever task you have today. Change starts with the first step taken, and take heart. You are not alone on this journey. The Lord is with you on your journey, offering guidance, strength, and encouragement at every turn. Finally, Jesus' parables have a lasting impact, serving as timeless lessons woven into the fabric of sacred teachings. These are timeless teachings that have the power to change our thoughts, actions, and the very essence of our lives in the present. These parables are meant to be deeply pondered, not simply heard and dismissed. Rather, they are invitations to reflect, transform, and flourish. They invite us to look beyond the mundane rhythms of our daily lives and ask ourselves, do I truly embody the principles that Jesus taught? Am I planting seeds of kindness, compassion, and faith in the fertile soil of my own heart and the lives of others? Consider this carefully. When was the last time you paused to consider how you use God's gifts? Are you carefully nurturing them, or are you hiding them due to fear or comfort?